There's a sound every homeowner knows. I'm sure of it. I mean, nobody hands you a manual for it, but the first time you hear it, something in you tightens up like you've heard it your whole life. It's that high-pitched, metal-on-metal squeal. I mean, it cuts through everything. Doesn't matter what you were doing before. You stop, mid-step, mid-thought, just standing there in the hallway, listening like maybe it'll settle down if you don't move. Like a raccoon in the attic you're hoping might just leave on its own. But it doesn't. About 20 minutes later, the house goes suspiciously quiet in a way that kind of feels expensive. Yeah, the heat just shuts off. The motor's done from the furnace. It's gone. Well, that was me, and I'm standing there staring at the ceiling like I can somehow see through it to the furnace, already rehearsing the conversation I really don't want to have. Please don't be the furnace. Please don't be a big number. Please just let one thing this week be simple. You know, it's kind of funny because we replaced that exact motor last February. So now I've got this cautious, fragile optimism. You know, the kind you don't fully trust, but you let it hang around anyway. And I pull up the warranty. Expired February 20th, which was less than a month ago when this took place. And I just stood there and I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it felt like the only option left. At that point, I'm convinced appliances are organized. There's a group chat. They've got calendars. They're coordinating everything. Because, you know, in that same day, our TV decides it's done connecting to the internet. The TV's only 4 months old. I'm standing there with the remote, clicking through the settings like I somehow have a degree in electronics, getting more irritated by the minute. And then, I kid you not, the air fryer, toaster, oven thingy, I think it's a Ninja something, well, whatever that multi-purpose kitchen transformer we bought is, it starts beeping. And it keeps beeping. No matter how many buttons you press, it's still beeping. There's no pattern to it. Just random, confident beeping like it knows something I don't. And of course, eventually I unplug it like, hey, I don't know what's happening with you, but I can't live with this right now. And all of this is unfolding right after I took myself to the ER for, of all things, high blood pressure. Now there's this inevitable bill floating around that has my name on it from a hospital, and it's just waiting to arrive at the worst possible time. And because the week wasn't quite full yet, my truck starts acting up. Because, of course it does. It felt like one of those carnival games where you hit the mole with a hammer and before it even lands, another target pops up somewhere else. There's no rhythm to it, and nothing slows down long enough for you to catch your breath. It's just swing after swing after swing. And after a while, it stops being about any one thing breaking. It's the weight of all of it stacked together. You start running numbers in your head without even meaning to. Time, money, energy, and the last one feels the shortest, obviously. And somewhere in there, a quiet thought slips in. Really, God? Do we really have to do this right now? It's not some big emotional moment. It's just honest and a little worn down, isn't it? You know, there's a line, actually, in Job's story that I kind of keep thinking about. Everything in his life just starts unraveling. Downward spiral, one piece after another. And people kept showing up to tell him what just went wrong next. And in Job 1:16 it says, while he was still speaking. And that line feels uncomfortably familiar for me. Because that's exactly how weeks like this move. Before you've even had a chance to process anything, the next thing is already tapping you on the shoulder. There's no space to regroup. It's just coming like in waves that don't quite give you enough time to get your footing down. And Job sits in it. I mean, he says what he's feeling. he wrestles with God in a way that feels pretty honest and a little raw. And through all of that, God is still there. He's not off somewhere in the distance, waiting for things to calm down before stepping in. He is right there, all in the middle of it. Psalm 46:1 says, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Ever-present. Right there in the hallway with that sound ringing in your ears. Right there in the frustration, the numbers running through your head, the moment where you just sit down for a second because you do not know what to do next. And I've noticed something. I don't always recognize that right away. At first, all I can see is what's breaking. But somewhere in the middle of it all, usually when I've run out of ways to fix things quickly, there's this steadiness that shows up. And it's quiet. It's very easy to miss if you're not paying attention, but it's there, giving you enough to take that next step. Call the repair guy, figure out the bill, take a breath, and keep moving one step at a time. And sometimes even laugh a little, because at a certain point, the only reasonable response is, all right, what else you got? So what I'm trying to say is weeks come in heavy, one thing after another, just stacking up faster than you can clear it. And if you're in one of those stretches right now, I think it's okay to admit it feels like a lot. Just say it out loud and to sit in it for a minute. And somewhere in the middle of all that noise and all those moving pieces, God is still there. Not rushing you through it, just staying with you